Welcome to Vedanta Bhakti Pravachanam channel. In this channel, we are saying Sai Satcharitra. We have to see 28th chapter of Sai Satcharitra now. What writer is telling here, we will see. Sai is not finite or limited. It dwells in all beings, from ants and insects to the god Brahma. He pervades all. Sai was all versed in the knowledge of the Vedas, as well as in the service of self-realization. As he was proficient in both these, he was well fitted to be the Sadguru. Any one of those led but not able to awaken the disciples and establish them in self-realization does not deserve to be called as Sadguru. Generally, the worldly parents give birth to the body, but death invariably follows life. But Sadguru does away with both life and death, and so he is more kind and merciful than anybody. Sai Baba often said that, let his man be at any distance, 1,000 kos away from him, he will be drawn to Shirdi like a sparrow with a thread tied to his feet. The chapter describes the stories of three such sparrows. Lala Lakshmi Chand, the gentleman, was first serving in the Sri Venkateswara Press in Mumbai, then in the railway department, and afterwards in the firm of Messrs. Raleigh Brothers and Company. As a munshi, he came in Baba's contact in 1910. 1 or 2 months before Christmas, he was in his dream at Santa Cruz, an old man with a beard standing and surrounded by his bhaktas. A few days later, he went to the house of his friend, Mr. Dattatreya Manjunath Bijur, to hear the Kirtan by Das Gandu. It was always the practice of Das Gandu to keep Baba's picture in front of the audience while doing the Kirtan. Lakshmi Chand was surprised to see that the features of the old man he saw in his dream tallied exactly with those in the picture, and thus he came to the conclusion that the old man he saw in the dream was Sai Baba himself. The sight of the picture, Das Gandu's Kirtan, the life of Saint Tukaram, on which Das Gandu discoursed, all these things made a deep impression on his mind, and he decided to go to Shirdi. It always the experience of the bhaktas that God always helped them in their search of Sadguru and their spiritual endeavor. That very night, a friend named Shankar Rao knocked at his door and asked him whether he would accompany him to Shirdi. His joy knew no bounds, and he at once decided to go to Shirdi. He borrowed 15 rupees from his cousin, and after making due preparation left to Shirdi. In the train, and his friend Shankar Rao did some bhajan and inquired about Sai Baba with some fellow passenger. 4 and inquired Mohammedans who were returning to their place near Shirdi. They all told them that Sai Baba was a great saint living in Shirdi for many years. When they reached at Kopargam, he wanted to buy some good govas as offering to Baba, but he was so wrapped in the scenery and sights there that he forgot to purchase them. When they were nearing Shirdi, he was reminded of the govas. Just then he saw an old woman with a gova basket on her head running after the tonga. The tonga was stopped, and he gladly purchased some fruits. When the woman said, take all the rest and after them on my behalf to Baba. The facts that he had intended to purchase govas but had forgotten to do so, the old woman's encounter and her devotion to Baba, all these were a pleasant surprise to both the friends, and Lakshmi Chand thought in his mind that the old woman might be some relation of the old man he saw in his dream. Then they drove on and came near Shirdi, and on seeing flags on the masjid, they saluted them with the puja materials in hand. They went to the masjid and worshipped Baba with the due ritual. Lakshmi Chand was much moved and was extremely happy to see Baba. He wrapped himself around his Baba's feet as a bee with a sweet-smelling lotus. Then Baba spoke as follows, cunning fellow. He does bhajan on the way and inquires from others. Why ask others? Everything we should see with our own eyes. What is the necessity to question others? Just think for yourself whether your dream is true or not. Where was the necessity of the darshan? By taking a loan from a Marwadi, it is the heart desire now satisfied. Hearing these words, Lakshmi Chand was wonderstruck at Baba's omniscience. He was at loss to know how Baba came to know about all the things that had happened en route from his house to Shirdi. The chief thing to note that respect in Baba never liked people to borrow to take loan for his darshan or celebrating any holiday or making any pilgrimage. Sanja. At noon, when Lakshmi Chand was sitting for meals, he got some sanja from a devotee as prasad. He was pleased to have it. Next day also he expected it but got nothing. So he was anxious to get it again. Then on the third day at the noon artha came, Babu Sahib Jog asked Baba what naivedya he should bring. Baba told him to bring sanja. Then the bhaktas brought 2 big potfuls of sanja. Lakshmi Chand was very hungry and there was some pain in his back. Then Baba said to him, it's good that you are hungry, take sanja and some medicine for the pain in the back. He was again understruck to see that Baba again read his mind and spoke out what was passing therein. How omniscient was he? During the visit, also witnessed one night the procession in the Chavadi. Baba then suffered much from cough. He thought that the suffering Baba might be due to somebody's evil eye. Next morning when he went to the masjid, Baba spoke to Shama as follows. I suffered last night from cough as due to some evil eye. I think that somebody's evil eye was worked on me and so I am suffering. In this case, Baba spoke out what was going on the mind of Lakshmi Chand. On seeing these proofs of Baba omniscience and kindness to his bhaktas, he fell prostrate at Baba's feet and said, I am much blessed with your darshan. Ever be kind and merciful to me and protect me always. There is no other God to me in this world except you. Let my mind be ever wrapped in your bhajan and feet. Let your grace protect me from the miseries of the world and let me ever chant your name and be happy. After getting Baba's sudhi and blessings, he returned home with his friend much pleased and contented and was singing Baba's glory on this way. He remained a staunch devote and Baba then onwards and always sent garlands of flowers, camphor and dakshina with any person of his acquaintance bound for Shirdi. Berhampur lady. Now let us turn to another sparrow. One lady in Berhampur saw in her dream Sai Baba coming to her door and begging khichdi for his meals. On waking up, she saw nobody at her door. However, she pleased with her vision and told it to all, including her husband. He was employed in the postal department and when he was transferred to Akola, both husband and wife who were devout person decided to go to Shirdi. Then on a suitable day they left to Shirdi and after visiting Gomati Tirth on the way reached Shirdi and stayed there for 2 months. Every day they went to the masjid, worshipped Baba and passed their time happily. The couple came to Shirdi, offered khichdi and naivedya, but for the first 14 days somehow or other it could not be offered. The lady did not like this delay or tardiness. Then on the 15th day she came to noon to the masjid with her khichdi. There she found that Baba and others were already sitting for meals and that the curtain was down. Nobody dared enter when curtain was down, but the lady could not wait. She lifted the curtain, was entered. Strange to say, the Baba seemed to be hungry for khichdi and wanted that thing first. And when the lady came in with the dish, Baba delighted and began to eat morsel after morsel of khichdi. On seeing this earnest of Baba in this respect, everybody was wonderstruck and those who heard the story of khichdi were convinced about his extraordinary love for his devotees. Third one, Megha. Now, Megha is Viramgan was a simple and illiterate Brahmin cook of Frau Bahadur H.V. Sate. He was a devotee of Shiva and always chanted the 5-syllabled mantra Namah Shivaya. He did not know the Sanja, its chief mantra, the Gayatri. Rao Bahadur Sate, interested in him, taught him the Sanja and the Gayatri. Sate told him that Sai Baba of Shirdi was the embodied form of God Shiva and made him start for Shirdi. At Bharuch railway station, he learned that Sai Baba was a Muslim and his simple and orthodox mind was much perturbed at the prospect of bowing down to a Muslim. And he prayed to his master not to send him there. His master, however, instead of going there and gave him a letter of introduction to his father-in-law, Ganesh Damodar, alias Dada Kelkar at Shirdi, to introduce him to Sai Baba. When he reached Shirdi and went to the masjid, Baba was very indignant and would not allow him to enter. Kick out this rascal, roared Baba, and then said to Megha, you are a high caste Brahmin and I am a low Muslim. You will lose your caste by coming here. Just get away. On hearing these words, Megha began to tremble. He was wondering as to how Baba had came to know about what was passing in his mind. He stayed there for some days, serving Baba in his own way, but was not convinced. Then he went home to Triambak and stayed there for a year and a half. Then again he returned to Shirdi. This time, in the insertion of Dada Kelkar, he was allowed to enter the masjid and stay in Shirdi. Sai Baba's help to Megha was not though any oral instruction. He worked upon Megha internally, with the result that he was considerably changed and benefited. The Megha began to look upon Sai Baba as an incarnation of Shiva. In order to worship Shiva, bare leaves are offered, and Megha used to go miles and miles every day to bring them worship Baba. His practice was to worship all the deities in the village and then come to the masjid, and after saluting Baba's gadi, he worshipped Baba, and after doing some service, drank the washings of Baba's feet. It so happened that he came to the masjid without worship Khandoba, as the door of the temple was closed. Baba did not accept the worship and sent him back again, saying that door was open. Then Megha went, found the door open, worshipped the deity, and then returned to Baba as usual. Ganges path. On one Makar Sankranti day, Megha wanted to besmear the body of the Baba with sandal paste and bath him with Ganges water. Baba was first unwilling to undergo this, but he repeated requests he consented. Megha had to traverse a distance of 8 cows to bring in sacred water from the Godavari river. He brought the water, made all preparations for bath at noon, and asked Baba to get ready for the same. Then Baba again asked to be spared from the bath, saying that as a fakir, he had nothing to do with Ganges water, but Megha did not listen him. He knew that Shiva is pleased with Abhishek. On that auspicious day, Baba then consented, came down and sat on a wooden board, and projecting his head said, "O Megha, do it at least this favor. Head is the most important organ of the body, so pour the water over the head only. It is equivalent to the whole bath." "Alright," said Megha, and lifting the water, began to pour it on his head. But in doing this, he was so much overwhelmed with the love that he cried out, "Har Har Gange," and emptied the pot on the whole body. He kept the pot aside and began to look at Baba, but to his surprise and amazement, he found that only Baba's head was drenched while the body quite dry. Megha worshipped Baba at 2 places in the masjid. He worshipped Baba in person and in the Wada. Baba's big picture given by Nana Sahib Chandorkar. Then he did for 12 months. Then in order to appreciate his devotion and confirm his faith, Baba gave him a vision. One morning, when Megha was still lying on his bed, his eyes closed and internally awake, saw clearly Baba's form. Baba, knowing him to be awake, threw Akshata and said, "Megha, draw a trident," and disappeared. Hearing Baba's words, he eagerly opened his eyes, saw Baba there, but only rice grains spread here and there. He then went to Baba, told him about the vision and asked permission to draw trident. Baba said, "Did you not hear my words asking you draw trident? It was no vision but direct order. My orders always be pregnant with meaning and never hollow." Megha said, "I thought you woke me up, but all the doors were closed, so I was doubtful and thought it be a vision." Baba rejoined, "I require no door to enter. I have no form. I always live everywhere. As a wire puller, I carry on all the actions of the man who trusts me and merges in me." Megha returned in the Wada and drew a red trident on the wall near Baba's picture. Next day, Ramadasi Bhakta came from Pune, saluted Baba and offered him pindi. At this time, Megha also turned up there. Baba said to him, "See, Shankar was come. Protect him now." Megha was pleasantly surprised to see pindi. Also in the Wada, Kaka Sahib Dikshit was standing with a towel on his head after having taken his bath and was remembering Sai when he saw a pindi in his mental vision. While he was wondering about the Megha, came and showed him the pindi presented to him by Baba. Dikshit was happy to know that the pindi exactly tallied with the one who he saw a few minutes before in his vision. In a few days after the drawing of the trident was complete, Baba installed the pindi near the big picture which Megha was worshipping. The worship of Shiva was dear to Megha, and by the drawing of the trident and the installation of the pindi, Baba confirmed his faith therein. After continuous service of Baba for many years, doing regular worship in Aarti every noon, and one evening Megha passed away in 1912. Then Baba passed his hands over his mortal remains and said, "This was a true devotee of mine." Baba also added that at his own expense the funeral dinner should be given to the Brahmins, and this order was carried by Kakasaheb Dikshit. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all.